Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Agricultural Preserve Advisory Committee meeting. It is 9:01 a.m. and it's August 14th. And I'm Stephanie Stark, Agricultural Commissioner's Office Deputy and Chair. And we are going to go ahead and get started and call this meeting to order. Let's go ahead and do roll call, please.
Okay, I'll do a roll call starting left to right. Royce Larson, Sergio Ricardo,
Present.
Stephanie Stark,
Here.
David Lackey,
Here.
and Alex.
Okay, very good. We have a quorum. And I'm going to take public comment at this time is only on items that are not listed on the agenda. So if there's anyone in person or joining us remotely, please let us know if you'd like to speak on an item.
Madam Chair, we have nobody in the attendees column and nobody signed up for public comment.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And that takes us to the minutes. So we are going to consider the minutes from the July 10th, 2025 meeting. Are there any comments on the minutes from committee members, suggested edits, or a motion?
Madam Chair, and maybe it's fine the way it is. I'm looking at the minutes review, and it said a vote 3-0 and Ricardo abstained. I think I walked in just right after that vote was taken. So I didn't vote on it. So I don't know if we need to say I was absent
And which item was this, Royce?
at the.
Oh, approval of the minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I got here at like 9:06 or something.
Oh, I see. So maybe it would be,
Yeah, I can.
yeah, we'll add that. Thank you. So it still passed with, yeah, it was Alex, Stephanie, and David. Okay. Thank you. Good point. Any other comments, suggested edits?
I had one on item number 4. Just since item number 3 and 4, the motions are generally similar, to make it in the last sentence in the motion, it says as stated in the 60-day notice mailed to the property owner. That wasn't included in number 3, so I would suggest we just delete that statement, just say in the 60-day insert letter dated, and then have April 29th, just so it's similar to the motion for
I see. Okay.
number 3.
Does that make sense, Jonathan? Okay, very good. Thank you, David. Any other comments from committee members or a motion to approve?
I would make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Okay, Royce Larson.
Aye.
Sergio Ricardo.
Aye.
Stephanie Stark.
Aye.
David Lackey.
Aye.
And Alex.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, thank you very much. And that takes us to, let's see, agenda management. Is there anyone who'd like to continue an item that's listed on the agenda? And if so, please state your name or affiliation with the project. If a committee member has anything they want to bring up, please also mention that. Okay.
Chair, just a couple of, is this a good time to just maybe correct a couple of typos on the agenda, or should we just discuss them?
Unless you think it's something that would preclude us from discussing the item. Otherwise, I think we could take the,
Maybe just wait until we discuss
Okay.
the item.
okay. All right. Very good. So let's go ahead and start with our standard agenda. And our first item is a continued item, and this is Azteca Properties, contract number 70AP022. And this was regarding a letter. We had sent a notice to appear letter to the owner, and it's regarding assessor parcel numbers 117-160-050 and 117-160-048. And this is regarding a recorded document, 48648, the county official records. And I believe we have somebody online. We have something in the packet that was provided to us. And I think I've seen emails from Mr. Cross. I don't know if he's
Yes.
here today. Okay,
We
great.
have him raise hand in the chat.
Very good. So, Mr. Cross, would you like to get us started on this and give us a little overview? I know you're working on coming to resolution with this.
Yes, absolutely. And first of all, thank you, committee. It's great to be here talking about this project. We're requesting approval to proceed with a replacement contract for this parcel. Some time ago, 4.4 acres was divided off, provided to the county for flood control. I believe it was back in the 70s. It might have been that long ago, but apparently the assessor's office recently caught that and said, hey, you need to apply for a replacement contract. And so that's why I'm here. The parcel is 132.9 acres. It currently is growing strawberries, but in a month or so, they'll be transitioning to other vegetables. There is a residence on the parcel. They're not proposing any change of use. They want to stay in the ag preserve. And so what we're requesting now is approval to go ahead and proceed with a replacement contract.
Thank you, Mr. Cross. So have you submitted an application yet?
I actually did the week
Okay.
after the last meeting where they extended it. I did apply through the portal and it said it was reviewed.
Okay. Very good.
Madam Chair, just also I checked with Development Review yesterday just to see if the application had been submitted, and they informed me that the application had been submitted, but it hasn't been assigned. They believe that there's some incomplete information, so maybe Mr. Cross, you can follow up with the zoning counter just to maybe there's just in terms of communication that they had intended to maybe there's a form or something missing. So maybe just to confirm that everything that needs to be submitted has been submitted.
Well, I appreciate that. And generally speaking, I've done a lot of permitting through the county and they usually contact me, but they didn't in this case. But for all I knew, it was just being forwarded to the ag preserve. But I will definitely contact the zoning counter and talk to planning and see who's assigned to it and work through them.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cross. So, for our committee here, we sent a letter, a notice to appear. The representative for the owner has appeared. They're letting us know that they're doing a replacement contract, which is what we had asked for, some kind of resolution in the letter. So with this, the actual replacement contract will come back to the committee, correct? So we would consider that at the time when it comes. But for this situation, as far as like consistency and I don't think there's any, from I can tell, any additional steps that we need to take as a committee. Perhaps there's a motion we could make to close this up because they are moving forward with resolving the potential, the non-compliance enforcement action.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I think I would recommend we kind of follow this as like a tracking item as we've done in the past.
Okay.
Sounds like they're making progress as
Yep.
We would hope. And so I think for today, we could just recommend maybe continue this for
2 months or something?
maybe just month to month. They may quickly, they've already got the application. Maybe there's just some small things they need to tie up. So potentially it could be back for our September. So maybe we just continue it, do month to month until the new replacement contract appears
Okay.
on the agenda.
Very good. So I can make a motion to continue this item until September And before we vote on that motion, want to take public comment. Anyone here would like to make a comment on this item?
Madam Chair, we have no letters submitted and nobody in our audience.
Very good, thank
Public
you.
comment.
Close public comment.
I'll second the motion.
Roll call,
We'll
please.
do a roll call. Royce Larson,
Aye.
Sergio Ricardo.
Aye.
Stephanie Stark,
Aye.
David Lackey.
Aye.
And Alex.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, very good. So, Mr. Cross, we are just gonna kind of trail this to the next month. It's our way of tracking. But thank you so much for coming today, and hopefully we'll have something more definitive for next month. Maybe actually when the application does come and gets processed and those issues get resolved, then we'll put that on the agenda as a replacement contract and then drop this item.
Very good. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, very good. That takes us to new items. So the first is item number 2. This is for contract number 69 AP042. This is for the Guerra Family Trust Barn. And Adam Orta is the county planner. And we also have Angela Janes, who is the planner for the applicant. And this is a non-prime contract, 503.49 acres, and it's assessor parcel 69 AP42, and they are looking to place a barn on the property. They have both, looks like cattle and crops. They provided information in our packet. There you go. There's the map from the site plan. And I think it states 100 acres in there of different row crops, and then they've also got cattle land. Mr. Orta or Ms. Janes, would you like to speak on this item, or is it Jones? I wasn't sure.
It is actually, good morning, committee members. This is Angela Janes. I do represent the Guerra Family Trust. I'm here to answer whatever questions you may have regarding the submittal. Do you want me to just go through the basics, or what is best for you?
Yeah, go ahead and go through the basics. Yeah.
As you said, this is it's an Ag 2 property, 503 acres roughly, just outside of Lompoc. You've got, I don't know if you can see my mouse, a 1.2 acre personal development envelope up on the north side. The proposed new 2740 square foot agricultural barn will be up again on the north end of the parcel, kind of all the way at the top. I don't know if you can see that. The agricultural, actually just a little bit over from there in the orange area, other side. There you go, a little black. There we go. Yes, so that's there's a graded area that was already there used for parking tractors and equipment, and they're putting an agricultural barn there. It will be for irrigation supplies, some hay, equipment, that sort of thing. The well that serves the parcel for both the agricultural crops and the cattle operation is all the way down at the south end. If you scroll down, it's actually not marked on this map, but we did send, I think you had opened it, the well completion report. Yes, and you can see there's a map farther down in this submittal. Yet. Keep on going. Super. It's down actually, yeah, at the south end of the property. It borders the Dierberg tasting room. And so you can see the well, if you were to look at it on PhotoMapper, the well is very clearly marked there, but it's also in the well completion report. I should have put it on the site plan. I apologize. So there you go. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, Angela, is that well maybe on the map, but it's just not marked? Is it can you see it on the like on the aerial photo maybe?
You can definitely see it on an aerial photo. If you go, if you were to zone in a little bit, you can see there's a little cutout of the parcel at the bottom, and that's the Dierberg tasting room.
Okay, so just south of that green hatched area.
It's in the green hatched area. just adjacent to the Deerberg parcel, which is that little cutout of a rectangle at the bottom. So that's row crop there, and you go to the left. Oops, not that far. Yeah, okay, you can see the Deerberg tasting room is right there.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, we see that.
exactly. So if you go just to the right of that is where the well is. Yes.
Is it that, okay, right there. Okay, thank you. Does
Yes.
everybody see that with it? Okay.
Correct. So that's the ag well that serves the Guerra's property.
And the ag employee dwellings, I see, is it 2 ag employee dwellings on the property?
Yes, we have a 1,200 square foot and we've got a W-2 contract for that gentleman. And then we have and these are both like 1930s or so when they were constructed. And then there's another 600 square foot one. And that is also an ag employee. So they've got 2 ag employees who mostly work on this property, a little bit on another property, but mostly this, running the cattle, because they actually lease the land directly north to also run the cattle. They run them on their land and the land north.
So the cattle operation's a leased operation?
No, the cattle is actually their operation. They run it on their land, and then they also lease adjacent land and run their cattle on the neighbor's land.
I see. And how about the crops? Is that also leased?
The crops are leased, correct.
Okay, a different grower. Okay, and so the ag employees, what is it that are they working with the cattle or?
They work actually with both. There's tractor work, irrigation repair, field maintenance, structural maintenance, feeding the animals, that sort of thing, keeping the horses for the cattle operation.
Okay. Are there any questions from committee member? Oh, thank you very much for that. I just wanted to ask if Adam had anything to add.
Hey, good morning, APAC members. Nothing to add at this time. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Committee members, any questions or?
Madam Chair, I have a question. And just looking at the map, it looks like there's some horse barns, corrals, some other things, and there's no mention, is that associated with the livestock? How many horses, or are they personal use?
They are not personal use. If you look on this sheet down below, you'll see they have 10 horses. If you scroll down a little bit, and you'll see at the legend, the agricultural use legend down at the bottom with the green and the gold. Yes, there's 10 horses that they use, and it is for the cattle operation.
One last question, if I could. Are the cattle there year round? You said 45 head.
Correct. Yes, they are.
Okay.
I had a question just for Sergio in terms of, has this contract completed and submitted their annual survey?
Yes, thank you, David. Give me 1 second. I lost my connection. And
I can actually answer that as well. I have a copy of the 2024 submitted questionnaire. If I can send that in to you guys, I'd be happy to do that.
yeah, exactly. So
Great, thank you. I always like to hear that.
we have the
Right.
most recent one.
I remember this property was at APEC several years ago. Maybe it was there a cannabis application on this property that never followed through? Angela?
I don't have that history. I was not involved with this owner back then.
Okay. Just because I think I vaguely remember just the cannabis and the relationship to the Deerberg tasting room was at least just an issue that was talked about. So, but yeah, I don't have any other questions.
Yeah, I don't have any other questions either.
Okay, all right, we don't have any other questions from committee members. Wanted to see if there's anyone from the public who'd like to speak on this item.
Madam Chair, we have no letter submitted and nobody in our attendees column.
Okay, thank you. Would someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion that the committee find the request for an agricultural barn consistent with the uniform rules and that contract 69 AP 042 meets ongoing eligibility requirements.
I will second.
Do a roll call. Royce Larson,
Aye.
Sergio Ricardo.
Aye.
Stephanie Stark,
Aye.
David Lackey.
Aye.
And Alex.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, very much. Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Adam, for attending. We always appreciate that. And that's it for number 2, unless you had any questions, Angela.
No, I'm great. Thank you so much.
All right, very good. That takes us to item number 3, and I believe 3 and 4 are actually kind of together. It is listed on our agenda as considering replacement contracts, but it is associated with a lot line adjustment. And it's 2 different, I'll just, mention it. We can take separate motions for the 2 different items, but they are kind of together. I'll talk about the first one, read that one into the record. That's for Ag Preserve number 77 AP 038. And this stated it's for a baseline lot LLC for a replacement contract, but is associated with a lot line adjustment. And it's for a 64.79 acre parcel, and it's for APN 141121041. And I know we have Angela Janes here, who is and Adam, same team, who are here representing this case. So if one of you would like to give us an overview and how it might tie into item number 4 as well.
Good morning, Stephanie. Actually, Brett Jones, I'm going to take this one and
Okay.
item number 4. So yes, this was a lot line adjustment that we brought to you guys back in October of 23. And we've gone through the process. The lot line adjustment has been recorded. So we're in now for replacement contracts. So the acreage that is in the agenda is actually the original acreage that has been revised with the adjustment. So this parcel for number 3 now is 43.79 acres. And I can correct when we get to number 4, that one is now 40.09 acres, consistent with the exhibit that you're showing now and the approved lot line adjustment.
Okay, thank you for that.
Sure.
So in the image that we're showing here, which one is the lots or the case number 3? Is that lot
That is
number
lot
1?
number 1, correct.
Yeah. Okay. And so lot number 2 is number 4. Okay.
Item
Correct.
number 4.
Okay. And so the agriculture on the property,
Yeah, and this one kind of snuck up on me. I think Adam turned it in. So these are the old documents that I turned in when we first came to you for the approval of lot line adjustment. So parcel or lot number 1 is an equestrian principal boarding and breeding operation. It's so they have 25 acres of irrigated pasture. It's a commercial horse polo operation. And then should I even talk about the other parcel at this point, or?
yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So they have a commercial farming, biodynamic farm operation, and they have leased the additional acreage, the 20 acres that they did the lot line adjustment back to, used to be their joint, partners on that parcel for the horse operation. So they now have the commercial flower operation and a boarding agreement lease with the neighbor that has the horse operation. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So basically, both parcels, both contracts will have a principal use of equestrian, Brett? Is that what you're?
Yeah, lot 2 also has their primary ag is this flower operation. So it's really 2. I don't know what you would call principal, but they'll also have 20 acres of irrigated pasture on lot 2, but they also have a major flower operation as well. That makes sense?
Yeah, thank you, Brett. We're also going to pull up an aerial photo. We're
Okay.
so dependent on those. It's very helpful. Okay.
Sure. So you'll see that just below the cursor or to the left of the 3870. So the 3870 Eco Mama Farms is lot number 2. And then just to the west of that is the new area, a little further south. You'll see is all fenced pasture now. I did talk to David Posnick, who's the owner of the Eco Mama Farms, and the owner of the Polo operation has not installed the irrigated pasture, as you can see here. I think this is probably a early June imagery, but I confirmed with him he still has not installed the permanent or the irrigation infrastructure for those pastures, but he understands he needs to do that. So those are the pastures that the Eco Mama has leased then to the Polo people. You can see all the fencing in those pastures and everything now. And I think the lot line adjustment, Adam sent it to me yesterday, recorded in May.
And then are there any residential structures? It looks like on the Eco Mama side there is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had the map and we reviewed that in October, but with this submittal, I wasn't prepared, so it's not included in here. But yeah, we had there's a house, and then basically right where the cursor is a guest house. And I think I know it was tight, but we had everything fit in there. So this is lot number 2, item number 4. Lot number 1, item number 3. There is no residence or personal use on that parcel.
So Brett, on the Eco Mama lot 2-1, I mean, there's a lot of corrals on this property. I'm just having a hard time getting an accounting of what is this?
Sure.
Personal use, is it going to be counted towards? I mean, it looks like it. If you count up the acres of all of these, it may need to be as a principal animal boarding and breeding versus. I mean, we don't have any information on. You said it's commercial flower and a variety of other things, but we don't have any acreage of all of the other qualifying ag.
Right. Yeah. And again, I didn't go back and provide all that, but they call it a biodynamic farm. So they have goats, they have chickens, they have these other row crops that you'll see kind of in the middle. And all of this is, their intention as to be compliant. So the goats, the chickens, all the compost you'll see in the bottom left is all used as part of the flower operation, is what stuff that we had reviewed back in 23 when you guys granted approval. But again, I apologize. I didn't go back and get that resubmitted. So I certainly can, get that information again if we need to continue this. But nothing has changed from, that approval in 23.
And then Brett oh, go ahead, sorry. Just back to lot 1. So in addition to, qualifying as a principal animal boarding and breeding, you mentioned the acreage of irrigated pasture. Did you do the calculation for the other, I guess it was like the not to exceed the 20% of the contract for other supportive uses? Did you do that calculation?
I know I did back in 23, David, but I didn't, I see that map is not included in the materials that were submitted. So I know we were compliant then, so obviously I can redo that and have it ready next month if necessary.
Okay. It seems like maybe this will come back. We'll continue both of these, but let's just focus on the first one. The Baseline LLC. To have this come back, Brett, how much time? So far we're talking about, sounds like things you already have put together, but
yeah,
we need calculations on any animal boarding and breeding areas. I think you typically know what we look for.
Yeah.
So pasture areas, residential areas, things like that. So 1 month, 2 months, what do you think?
I think I should. What's the date in September? I don't have that right in front of me.
September.
Just have a vacation.
Let's see. The next meeting?
11th.
Yeah, September 11th.
Okay. I think we fly back on the 10th. So if maybe we should say the October meeting, then that would give me a little more time. I think I have everything, but rather than throwing it on Angie to do for me, if you guys are okay with that, I don't know that maybe Adam can chime in if it doesn't affect anything really. I know I can show all that stuff. In fact, maybe that even gives them a little more time. I can get more information on the irrigated pasture, in fact. Because I think this is the heat of the polo season. So that's the reason David said that the owner hadn't gotten to the irrigated pasture. But maybe for October, I would have that information as well. And maybe, could show you purchase agreements or whatever.
But we may change it.
For that, we could wait till the 9th. It is actually originally scheduled for October 9th, but we might need to change that. Was it to the 16th we're looking at?
Or just Friday the 10th.
Or Friday the 10th, yeah.
But we'll talk
Friday,
about
October 10th.
Yeah, we haven't discussed that yet, but the October meeting, just keep that in mind. It might be the 10th instead of the 9th, but yeah, if you need that additional time.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. And I can try to get more on this irrigation as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be very helpful. So before we make a motion, just wanted to see if there's any comments from committee members and also put this out to see if there's any public comments. So any comments from committee members?
Taking continuance on each one separately?
Yeah. Any comments from committee members on item number 3, which is
Yes.
baseline?
Madam Chair, just to confirm what Brett already stated. Yeah, the documents, there are some transfers, changes of ownership that were recorded. The certificate of compliance was also recorded. I do have the documents, and they are with the assessor's office. They just need to be, they're still on hold. We're still processing them. So all of that is done. And then the only other thing is that I don't have any Williamson Act questionnaires from the owners of item number 3 for the last many years. I think it was, let me see here. The last one we received was in 2012, I think. Just check. So bottom line, we need compliance with the Williamson Act questionnaire. 2016, sorry.
Brett, did you get that? Just
Yeah.
another item to reach out to the owners on.
Okay.
And Brett, just the last one, if possible, at
Okay.
least give us the most recent.
Gotcha.
Okay. Very good. Royce, did you have anything? Any suggested input? Okay. So is there anyone here today from the public who'd like to speak on this item?
Madam Chair, we have no letters submitted and nobody signed up for public comment for this item.
Okay, very good. I think we heard input on, we talked about site plans, got a lot of input on that, and then also the questionnaires. Okay. For both, for this one in particular?
For this one particular, I'll check.
All right. And while you're checking that, someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we continue item number 3 to the October APAC meeting, provide opportunity for the applicant to submit additional requested information.
I will second.
We'll do a roll call. Royce Larson,
Aye.
Sergio Ricardo,
Aye.
Stephanie Stark,
Aye.
David Lackey.
Aye.
And Alex.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, very good. And any other discussion on that before we move to item number 3? Or 4, sorry, I keep doing that. So back, we're on item number 4 specifically. This is the Eco Mama replacement contract, 72 AP 10. Adam Ord is the planner and Brett Jones is the agent. And we discussed that already with item number 3. So is there anyone here who'd like to speak on this item from the public?
We have no letters submitted and we have nobody in the attendees column.
Okay, very good. Let's take it back to the committee. I know, Sergio, we're going to look at the reports.
Yep. And yeah, they submitted a report in for last year for 2024. We didn't get the most recent one for 2025. So might as well get it since Brett's going to be working, to get the other one. Might as well get this one too.
And similar input on the site plan and information for the property and the ag on the property, particularly some of the animal boarding and breeding, and then the house residential area. Any other input from committee members?
I would have one
Yes.
comment. He mentioned goats and chickens and some other things. We just need to know, are they commercial or personal?
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, Brett, when you're pulling together information, so with the commercial ag production requirements, for the calculation to meet the minimum 50%, I'm just wondering whether or not you need to do both calculations. It looks like they're proposing that they're functioning as with a variety of different commercial products or commodities. And so do the calculation of each of those and do they meet the 50% requirement? I'm unsure how we would treat the irrigated pasture since it's being leased. It's not part of their operation. I mean, typically if somebody has irrigated pasture, they're either harvesting it as alfalfa, and we're looking at that, or it's incidental pasture. And this is neither of those situations. It's irrigated pasture for that's leased to a principal animal boarding breeding. But in terms of the ag commodity, but in terms of how we look at it for the commercial ag production is something I think we need to consider.
And the horses are on the adjacent property, right?
Yes, they're on the lot 1 property.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Brett is on the lot 2 property, is the irrigated pasture going to be more than 20 acres? Probably not, right?
Let's see. I don't think, can I
It
did
would
the calc
include-
this morning and I don't remember what I came up with for that down there.
I mean, that was, I was thinking, I mean, that's, if
I
it
don't-
were to be more than 20, then potentially you could look at this as, even though it's not necessarily functioning that way from the commercial ag side of it, it may be easier to demonstrate that it's qualifying as a principal animal boarding breeding just because of the irrigated pasture component. I don't know. So we may
Gotcha.
need to do calculations on both.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, what was the total, if you didn't talk about the pasture, what was the total of the flowers and the other crops on there?
Um,
Or you
yeah,
didn't
I
have
don't
them?
think we're,
Yeah,
I
It's
know
just
down there
this area
that's
and this
2
area.
acres and that's 2 acres. I think it's
not that
only
much.
yeah.
5 to 6 acres.
And you said as far as the arrangement with the pasture, as you understand it now, it's that pasture is just given? Is there's no commercial aspect at all? It's just what was the
Pasture to
arrangement?
the west.
No, the pasture on this property for item
Oh.
number 4.
Oh, gotcha. Well, again, the pasture to the west, the new property is leased by the horse operation. So I think you could call it a boarding operation. I just don't know if that's 20 acres. Does that answer your question, Stephanie?
Yeah, so they have pasture. That's the one they haven't actually put it in yet.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's all fenced. It just has not been irrigated.
Okay. I guess maybe be prepared for either one.
Yeah,
You got to figure one of those out.
yeah.
I just did a quick calculation. It's just about 17 acres. Just the area that is being to the west of that road.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's close to 20.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'll do both calculations and then
Mm.
I may, David, if okay, reach out to you separately with some questions, clarifications to help me out,
Yeah.
especially given if we can have until October.
And then also, I think it'd be good to have a copy of the lease agreement for that irrigated.
I agree on that one.
Good.
And I'm sorry, you talked about the well? Did we discuss that? The well?
No, I don't think we did.
Okay.
There's a well on each property, so I'll make sure that that's included.
Okay,
I
good.
think it's probably in the packet right now, but I'll make sure that I get a full submittal back in.
And then Brett, just going back to just the acreage adjustments, it seemed what you had mentioned for lot 2, you said 40.09, but on that surveyor's map, it was slightly different. So just whatever the correct acreage, use that correct acreage for the calculations for the envelope size and the commercial ag production.
Yep.
Gotcha.
41.
41.03 for the lot line adjustment.
Did you hear that with Alex? You repeat that for Brett?
Yeah, I'll make sure whatever was
41.03 acres.
41.03 acres.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Especially because we're now talking about the 3% personal use envelope, right? We're
Yes.
not.
Yeah, it'll be less than 2.
Yeah, because we'll be less than the 2. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So is there anyone from the public who'd like to speak on this item?
Madam Chair, we have no submitted letters and nobody signed up for public comment for this item.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Let's go ahead and take it back to the committee. Anyone have any other suggested items that will likely continue this as we did for the previous one, or want to make a motion?
Madam Chair, before
Yes.
we go there, I completely forgot about making a comment on the typo. the contract number listed under item 4, this item,
Mm.
on the agenda shows a 79-AP-10. The correct contract number is 79-AP-001. It's not 10, it's 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have it correct. It's correct in the narrative, but
It's,
not.
it's correct, yeah,
Okay,
but not on the title.
I see.
Anyway, just wanted to.
All right, so if your
Got that?
admin support can document that. Okay, thank you for following up. Okay,
I'll make a motion that we continue this item to the October APAC meeting to provide opportunity for the applicant to submit the requested information.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. I'll do roll call. Royce Larson,
Aye.
Sergio Ricardo,
Aye.
Stephanie Stark,
aye.
David Lackey.
Aye.
And Alex.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Brett, for all your help, and we'll see you in October on this item,
Great. Thank you.
both items. Okay.
Take care.
That takes us to item number 5, which is the Casmelia 4 LLC Ag Preserve. And this is a request of Nick Tompkins, and Adam Orta again is the county planner. It is 78P062. And this is to consider the request. Oh, we're pulling up a map for this one. And so this contract, there was, I remember reading in the memo from the planner, so there was some issue with the including highway commercial land, and then it was brought to the committee. So we revised I think our initial determination last month, and now it's back again. So that's all described in the planner's memo, and perhaps Adam, you can sort of introduce this item if you're still on as to what occurred, and then Mr. Tompkins or any other representative for the property could follow up after that if there's any additional detail for the committee.
Yeah, thanks, Stephanie. This is Adam from PND. Yeah, I just want to briefly touch base and kind of refresh APAC's memory on this one. So this has APAC has found this particular replacement contract consistent with the uniform rules a couple times now. The issue, I guess plainly speaking, that is getting brought up is one assessor's parcel number in particular. You see this in the exhibit. That's the one ending in 019. There's a little portion that assessor's parcel number is part of one legal lot. However, parcel 19 there is zoned highway commercial. Upon further review, we brought this back to you the last time to find it, to include this assessor's parcel number and find it consistent with the uniform rules. But after further discussion with county surveyor Alex, we determined that since this portion of land is part of one legal parcel, it might need to be excluded or included. So we're really just looking for further discussion on whether or not the contract needs to exclude this portion of land, what options the applicant has, and if the revised contract can be found consistent with the uniform rules, including parcel 19 or not.
Thank you very much, Adam. I think we have somebody like David from Planning and Development would like to speak on this one. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, thank you, Adam. Madam Chair. So, yeah, on this map where the arrow is pointing, that's the small parcel that is actually part of the a separate legal parcel, and so but it has the highway commercial designation. So certainly there's options that are more costly to the applicant. I think that's what we were trying to avoid. So one is to rezone the property. This has been zoned highway commercial since 1980, since the original 1980 comp plan. Not sure, it's such a small parcel. I think it was just never caught when it was originally included in all of the parcels that were under the original contract. Or trying to, doing a map to create it as a separate parcel, all are costly and seem to be, pathways that are just to try to check off a box. So I think there's, we're boiled it down to two options. And I talked a little bit earlier with Alex and I'll let him express from the surveyors. Maybe we'll do that first, because I think that's more telling from the surveyor's perspective and maybe a pathway that the APAC could consider.
Thank you, David. So the other exhibit, if you can bring, is the certificate of compliance that we issued a couple of years ago. That shows focus on the map, please, if you can. Yeah. So the Exhibit B shows basically what's described in Exhibit A of this certificate of compliance as a legal parcel that is a single legal parcel, which should be considered related to definitions in the uniform rules of a parcel. So I think there's two places in the uniform rules where we should look into regarding the premises and the parcel definition. So the APN parcel 19 is a little parcel in the corner of that kind of V-shaped boulder lot line. And as David explained, it's zoned non-ag. And the questions here are, would we be able to find it, the requests complying with the uniform rules regarding the definition of parcel and regarding the definition of premises. And I believe neither of those are exactly in compliance if we consider the shape of the legal parcel that's different than assessor's numbering.
Alex, just for kind of our lay viewing of this map. So what you're saying also is that assessor's parcel 19 is within the boundary of this legal parcel.
That's correct.
Okay. And so that creates a concern also with accepting only whole legal parcels into contract. Okay.
So there, as David mentioned, there are costly options for the owner, either rezoning the property or doing a parcel lot split, which would be even more expensive, I think.
Right. And I think one of the options, I hadn't talked to Alex, but when I was talking to Adam, one of the approaches that I came at it with is that uniform rules speak to if the landowner is enrolling all of their contiguous properties into contract, that we don't require parcel validity of those, that would happen at a point if they were coming in for an application. And maybe a slant on that interpretation would be that, well, if they're only enrolling all of their eligible parcels that are contiguous, that have the ag zoning, maybe we could view it that way, that we would exclude this parcel 19 because it's not eligible, because it has the highway commercial. That was the scenario that I was thinking of, but then Alex had re-emphasized that parcel 19 is just an assessor's parcel that is part of the legal parcel, and those issues that they still are inconsistent with the definition of accepting a whole legal parcel into contract. So one of the, I guess, option 2 for the consideration is that this parcel has always been in the original contract. As we mentioned, it's had this highway commercial zoning since, for 50 years, 40 years, 45 years. So one of the approaches is maybe we just give it a pass on the zoning. It will have to deal with that issue at some point in time, but that we would accept the replacement contract based on all of those parcels that were in the original contract, excluding obviously the Chevron ones that were non-renewed in different ownership. So yeah, essentially give a pass on not focusing on the land use and zoning designation for parcel 19.
I agree. The alternative is, you know, they have a portion of a legal lot, and under the rules, we can't allow portions of legal lots into contract. I agree that, and I don't know what the reason was for the assessor's office to separate that little portion. Maybe maybe it was because of the zoning. I don't know. But that, you know, I can go back to the assessor's office and see if there's a way that that parcel can be merged. I don't know if Alex knows the answer to this, if it can be merged with, to represent, you know, to make it the legal parcel that it is. And I know that sometimes the assessor's office doesn't charge any fee for a merger that is necessary, and you know, like in this case, I don't know that there would be a fee, but I need to check with my mapping department to see if there's a way that this parcel can be merged. I don't know if it's possible because of the different zoning, but because it's one legal lot, I would imagine that if there was no reason to separate it from the, you know, from the total legal lot, that it should be merged back into the legal lot. However, you know, I agree with David. I don't think this is something that should hold the approval of the contract, including parcel 19. We can go ahead if that's something that the owner wants to do. If he wants to include it, I don't think it should be prevented from becoming its own contract.
And Alex, just since parcel 19 isn't a separate legal parcel, but it has different zoning, if they wanted to come in and do some development on that, they would have to do some other action, like create it as its own lot or something, right?
That's correct, yeah.
So there would be a lot of additional steps that would need to happen if they were interested in pursuing a use based on that highway commercial designation. So
Is there anyone from the either the owner's representative, anyone here today who wanted to weigh in on that as the committee's discussing different options?
Yeah, no, this is Nick Tompkins.
Hi,
and,
Nick.
Hi, and I will say thank you for going through this with us. You know, our family's owned this for, I think, 86 years. And we have no intentions of, and candidly, I don't think ever, although I think my father thought at one point that would be a great spot for a gas station because that was the only route to Vandenberg Air Force Base at the time. And that was it. But we never, no one in our family has any intention of developing that. If it's, I don't know enough about the mapping to know that because it's not technically a legal parcel, I think it's a tax assessor parcel. So it couldn't be subdivided today without a fair bit of work, I think. We would certainly appreciate it being able to put the whole enchilada, including this lot 19 or parcel 19 under contract. And if over time, you know, there was a way to merge it and somebody wanted to do that, and that was fine. I don't know if there's another option of putting something on title to show that it, that's a note on title that cannot be subdivided. If that's an easier way to do it, because we have no intentions of developing that piece ever.
Is there, Alex, can you speak to that question? Is there ability to make a note on the title, or do you know if that's possible?
Yeah, I'm not aware of any possibility to make, and I think Mr. Tompkins, the way it is right now, you explained it well. It's a tax parcel, so it's a not separate legal parcel that could stand for itself in the subdivision map act sense. So the best solution, I believe, for at least I would be very comfortable supporting approval of the contract, including the parcel 19, and then down the line, if anybody wants to use this parcel 19 for different purposes than agriculture, I think you would need to either consider a parcel lot split in subdivision map act sense, or some kind of lot line adjustment, but looks like you are not on that path anyway, so.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Nick, for weighing in on that, and also Alex, and I think we had a good discussion up here at the committee. If we were to go down the road of just the committee makes a motion to find it consistent with the uniform rules, say we did that?
Including parcel
Yeah,
19.
including parcel 19, would we need to make acknowledgement of parcel 19, that it is a different zoning, or what? I don't know if council
Well,
would weigh
I
on.
was a little confused because originally the contract was found consistent without 19. And then they came back and excluded 19, and that was also found consistent, which in my opinion, it shouldn't have been, and anyway, because it was breaking the legal lot. So now we're saying we're including 19, correct? So
believe
I
so,
think that
yes.
there should be a motion to find that the contract, the replacement contract, should include parcel 19.
Correct.
Okay, so let me see if there's anyone here from the public who'd like to speak on this item.
Madam Chair, we have nobody in our attendees column and no letters submitted for this item.
Okay, okay, we heard some good input from the representative from the owners, from Nick. Any other discussion at the committee, from the committee? Questions? Okay, would someone like to make a motion?
So I'll try. I make a motion to find the proposed contract consisting of parcels, and I'll cite the parcels 113-270-113, another parcel 113-720-118, and another parcel 113-280-010, and parcel 113-270-019 meet eligibility to be enrolled into Ag Preserve contract, and that the committee finds the let me see, the premises meet eligibility for the replacement contract. Is there anything else to that?
Just Alex, just to confirm, just the first two APNs that you mentioned, the first one was 013, and then the second one was 018.
Yeah, I'm reading from the agenda, actually. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm that.
And did we have in the motion that 70 AP 062 meets ongoing eligibility?
They're getting a new contract, so
You're getting,
Oh,
we're not referring to
yeah,
the old
that's right.
contract.
Okay, thank you.
and do we have a second?
I'll second the motion if you're done. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just add that we do have approved legal description of the contract that would meet these requirements already with the planning, so.
Okay. Before we take a vote on it, just want to make sure, Adam, is there any additional information or clarifications that you need from the committee?
No, thank you guys for just discussing this, discussing options. This is kind of a tricky one, so I appreciate the feedback.
Can we take a motion? I mean, a roll call on the motion, please.
Absolutely. Royce Larson,
Aye.
Sergio Ricardo,
Aye.
Stephanie Stark,
Aye.
David Lackey.
Aye.
And Alex.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay. Thank you, Nick, for coming, and thank you, Adam.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, that takes us to items number 6 through 9. These are all discussion items. I'm going to go ahead and let Sergio from the assessor's office give us an overview of these.
Yeah, and I submitted a document to Jonathan this morning. I kind of last minute to show 6 and 7 are kind of related. Well, they are related, and so I'll start with showing you the first on the document on the screen there. Originally, contract 69-AP-073. When this contract was created, it included 5 parcels, and you can see them highlighted or shaded on the screen there. Sometime later I'm gonna guess in 2007, based on the contract number, in 2007, the southern parcel, most southern parcel, was given its own contract number. So that's parcel was separated from the original 5 parcels. So then we had 4 parcels left under the original contract 69073. If you scroll down, Jonathan, you can see that now that one parcel is not shaded. And then in 2023, there was a change in ownership that transferred 3 of the leftover 4 parcels, and one was left under the old, the old ownership. So now we have, as of March of 23, a split contract, split by ownership. So 3 parcels are owned now by, I think, the Minetti, which is, I think, item number 6. So Charles Minetti LLC owns 3 parcels. And I don't know if I should go to the next item number 7. Item number 7 is still owned by Jesse and June Smith, who were the original owners and sellers. So we have a split contract, and I just want to bring it to the committee's attention so that we can either put it on a future agenda for action. We need to, in my opinion, we need to have the chair send a 60-day notice and invite the owners to attend the meeting and see if, I think the only, well, 2 options. One option is we recommend non-renewal of the contract because it's now in non-compliance. Or the other option is to have the owners apply for their own replacement contract. So I suggest that we put this on the agenda as an action item, and the September agenda would be fine, unless unless you guys have any other ideas or suggestions.
And usually, I had brought this up last month, just, I forgot to give a caveat to this. So in the past, it was just Sergio and myself, we'd communicate, something that's come up to the assessor's office, and then I'd send off the letter, and so you'd see it, the committee members would see it on the agenda, and I'd have council look at the letter before I sent it off. Return receipt requested, certified mail, usually give them 30 days, even just a notice to appear, which is the first letter, kind of a come and talk to us type of letter. And then we'd put it on the agenda for the following month. But I'm just kind of taking a step back on those because some of those letters have gone out, and then we realize as a committee that some of these are old cases or situations where, you know, an action the county took 50 years ago, and now the owner is realizing that they're supposed to be getting a replacement contract for something, an action that the county took. So I'll say it that way. So that's why these are coming back to the committee first to decide as a group, is this one that we want to pursue as one, having that notice to appear letter go out, have it come to the committee, and then hopefully somebody, a representative, is contacted through the, admin support. Will send them a letter, let them know it's going to be on the agenda. Hopefully they come and resolve it. If not, we take the next step, which is the 60-day notice of non-renewal. So.
And maybe council can weigh in. I mean, so I think it was thank you for the explanation. So I think this obviously is a recent transaction that was based on the owners involved. So it elevates it, and there's a need to address the inconsistency. So when you do send the notice to appear, it sounds like you would need more lead time, but I guess the question is, either through this discussion, the APEC just confirm that it makes sense to send that notice of appear, or do we have to actually put it on the agenda to say, take the action to send the notice of, could we just consider that this is eligible, that we should put it on a future contract, and the vehicle to do that is the chair sends the notice to appear letter?
Yes, your last.
We can do that. Okay.
So you can't take any action on the contract itself. We can say, hey, this should probably be agendized later. Let's send a letter and we'll get it on the agenda, and then you can take action.
Right. Okay, good.
But you don't need to put anything on the agenda for me to send a notice to appear letter.
We have it on an agenda now to discuss it and decide if this is something that the chair can do. You can also do that on your own as the chair. Notice to appear.
Okay. And then, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to add that there was a question originally when the deed was recorded in 2023. You can see that it's been a couple of years since the deed recorded. There was a question as to whether there was a mistake done by the title transfer. I think originally the appraiser, Glenn, who's actually here, contacted the owner, and they suggested that they may have missed including the parcel by mistake, that it was probably a mistake. So we gave them time to re-record or go back to the title company and have them correct if this was a typo maybe. But because they didn't, and they haven't done any, there hasn't been any action, we decided maybe this is like a reminder that hey, you still have this issue. Maybe that is the issue, or maybe we don't know if it was maybe meant what is it, Jesse and June Smith, maybe they wanted to keep that parcel on purpose, but we don't know. So I think the 30-day notice might
And
give them a little push too.
thank you for that. And just kind of one thing I'm thinking about as well is we typically send the letter out, but I'm wondering, phone calls are also helpful, and I'm not saying wouldn't send the letter out, but in addition to that, I think sometimes reaching out a phone call. So is that something that the
assessor did
usually
that,
has a
yeah.
phone call, like for this?
You
Both
know,
of these owners, would you have records of if,
I am not sure. I don't know if you want Glenn to see if he remembers. Glenn, do you remember calling the owner about the ownership on this one?
and my question is more like in general, when we send, because I'm just thinking back to when we had our update to the Board of Supervisors earlier this year, one of the questions was, what kind of noticing do the owners get for these non-renewal and these enforcement cases? And do
Okay.
you also make phone calls?
Right.
Or I can't remember the exact discussion
Right.
that was had, but there were
Now-
questions about that. So it makes me think, are there other steps? And as chair, I can also call them in addition to sending, and I will do that. I'm thinking that's a good practice, but sometimes I don't have a phone number for them
Right.
from our office. Maybe if they're a grower, I would, but in this case, if it's like there's no growing grounds or no permit, pesticide use permit, is there any kind of contact information beyond?
I can check. I can go back to the office and give you that information if I have it.
It's not typical for every owner.
No, not really, because again, the assessor is not really trying to look for enforcing the rules that pertain to APAC. So we would have asked just to confirm, hey, you own 4 parcels, just in terms of ownership for the assessor,
Yeah.
for assessment purposes. But because we're not really trying to say, hey, you're out of compliance, we.
Yeah, and I'm not asking, did you call them? All I'm asking is, do you have a phone number?
Yeah,
I can
and so,
get?
yeah, no, I can
Okay.
check. I don't know.
So sometimes there's no phone number associated with a parcel. There's no.
No, what they do is they record a deed,
Mhm.
and then with the deed, they usually include a preliminary change of ownership report.
Mhm.
And there may be a phone number there or contact information on that report.
Mm,
And if there is, I can certainly provide it to you.
okay.
I don't know the answer.
Yeah, and that's just something for the committee to think about for increasing, compliance. I know that we just rely on mail, but it's something that maybe we do additional outreach and try that additional step of making a phone call. The tricky ones, like I said, are ones that are just, we don't have a record in the ag department of any, usually I can track down a phone number if they've got some kind of irrigated lands. It's a lot easier, but I don't know if the other departments, planning or surveyor has a, phone number that is always helpful and appreciated. Or even an email. Okay? Okay. So we discussed, a letter for both 6 and 7. And, no motion taken. These are just.
So Chair,
discussion
just on
items.
both of those, you'll the lead time to get the notice out and to give them time to respond, it's likely that we wouldn't agendize this. We wouldn't let them in the 30-day
No,
letter.
I think
It'll
September.
be October, it'll
yeah,
probably be
say
October.
October, yeah.
My question for Sergio, so the 2023 deed, you said it did not contain, what's that parcel? 13 or 14?
That was parcel 14.
Parcel 14 for the first time, right?
Mhm.
Did not contain that.
Did not contain.
Because I see parcel 14 was sold, looks like separately in 2022.
In 2022?
Yeah,
14?
I believe so. Which,
Check.
yeah,
And the reason I don't think that it sold is because Jesse and June have owned this parcel for quite some time. So I don't think it sold in 22. There was a transfer into their trust, I believe. Let me open document. but it was not a sale. Yeah, Jesse Smith and June Smith just transferred their interest into a trust, into their family trust, dated September 8, 2022. So it wasn't a change in ownership.
Thank you.
All right, any other discussion about item 6 or 7? Okay, let's go on to 8 and 9. Those are also kind of together.
They're together. And I'm hoping, I don't know if Brett Jones is here.
Sorry, real quick, Angela James actually raised her hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Angela.
Yes, hi. I represent William Warnacros, and so I'm here to answer what questions you have about the process of this replacement contract.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And do I need to take public comment on discussion items? I forgot to do that. Is there anyone who'd like to speak on item number 6? If you could hang on a moment, Angela, thank you.
We don't have any submitted letters for these 2 items, and we have nobody in our attendees column.
Okay, on 6, and does that include 7 as well?
That includes 7 as well.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Skipping on to 8. All right, thank you, Angela. So you're here. Did you have anything you wanted to say first, or just listen to the discussion and chime in?
It's up to you guys. This is a confusing topic.
Yeah.
That I came to you, I don't know if you remember, as a discussion item in June to discuss this gentleman's 2 parcels that he's looking to put into the program, as well as Frank Warnacros, who is his brother. And there was ownership confusion, which I believe that Sergio and I had cleared up with regard to the 07 parcel that's listed here. And I'm in the process of putting together a replacement contract for the 07-08.
Right.
Parcel.
So thank you, Angela. Yeah, so I was gonna let the committee know that I had been in communication with you, Angela, about these 2 items. I missed the June meeting when you came. I think I didn't advise you, but I suggested that you brought these to the committee, and I think so you did in June, I think. So I just wanted to make sure that I don't know exactly what happened at the June meeting. I wanted to like put them on the agenda, have a discussion, but just so that they wouldn't just be forgotten. That was the whole purpose of me just putting them on today's agenda, Angela. I know that you are working on these. I just didn't want to have them be dropped off.
Of course, yes, absolutely. So essentially, William Warnacros has owned Lot 8 since what is it? April of 2018, and then he recently inherited Lot 7 in March of this year. But at the same time, his brother Frank inherited 04 and 06 in the same area, and then somehow there was confusion on who inherited which lot. That was the problem that we were having. So when we came forward, I think that confusion was understood. Can you guys still hear me? I feel like you went away.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, I can't somehow get the thing back up on my screen. Okay, I'll just keep going. So at any rate, in that same line of parcels, you have 004 and 006 that were inherited by his brother Frank. And then we have the 07 that was inherited by William. And he has an existing contract on the 08. And so in my interaction with Sergio, he and I got the ownership issue sorted out. And the problem, the reason that I haven't submitted this already is because the drafting professional that I use was on vacation. And then the combination of these 2 projects together stymied him for a little bit because there were too many moving parts and he thought it was 2 submittals when in actuality there are 4 submittals that we're working on. So he had to redo his work, which I just received.
Right. And in addition to this, Angela, you may remember that I mentioned that originally the contract included parcel 8.
Yes.
So you're going to take care of parcel 7, and that's fine. But at the same time, the original contract included parcel 8, which is owned by Skylar.
Okay, so
So-
I have from William that he has owned parcel 8 since April of 2018.
Oh.
Should I be sending you the grant deed for that?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. So that hopefully will clear that up
They
because
still show it under
replacement-
Skylar.
Yeah, that's odd. Okay, he'll get that cleared up. That shouldn't be a problem because
Okay.
my replacement contract will be to replace the 08 contract with 07 and 08 combined.
Oh, I think we're talking about different 08, Angela. I'm talking about parcel 093-070-008, not 093, 040, 08. So 07008
Got it.
is the one that's highlighted on the screen right now.
Okay. That one, okay, so I'm gonna have, that is completely my
And-
confusion. I don't know, sorry, I literally can't, something happened with my screen. There we go, okay. That one I've not been working on for William,
Right.
so I'm not representing that one.
Right.
Got it.
And I know you're going to take care of parcel 7, that one, that
Uh-huh.
one that David or somebody just highlighted. But we also need, now that you're on your way to fixing that one, we'll have to, and this is just for the committee, we're going to have to look at this one, the parcel 8, at the same time as well.
Okay, so that one I'll let you guys talk about because I don't represent that.
Right. Yeah, you're not involved.
Terrific. Okay,
Thank
are
you,
you
Angela.
guys, do you need me anymore or are we good?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Thank you, Angela.
I will log off. Sorry for any confusion. I apologize.
No problem.
That's no problem. Thank you very much.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
It's very confusing, but
Because the conversation, the discussion item that Angela was mentioning a couple months ago was just looking at, we were aware that the brothers had received different parcels, and the question was, would those individually qualify? So we were just looking, for example, we were just looking at this one that it would qualify because of the adjacency to another contract. We weren't
Correct.
aware that it was part of
it is also including that.
the Schuler one, right?
Yes.
So,
Schuler or Skylar, I don't.
or Skylar, sorry, or Schuler, yeah. So it sounds like in this one, we would send a notice to appear for the Schuler.
Yeah, since
portion.
Angela is already on top of things for the other one, I
So
think.
item number 8
8,
would
9,
not,
I'm sorry, 9.
so 9 would have the letter, but not 8.
Yeah.
Okay,
For parcel 008.
yes, so 093-070-008, that's the one
That's the
where
one.
Right.
Yeah.
need a notice to appear. Okay. Okay. All right, and still that document is the correct, the one there, the change of ownership document, right?
Yeah, and that is the change in ownership that Angela was referring to when she said that there was an inheritance and William got one and
Mm-hmm.
the other owner, the other brother got the other parcel. That was what kind of brought this to the
Mhm.
assessor's attention.
Mm-hmm. Did you already provide me a copy of that recorded document?
I don't think so. I can.
Okay, it's very helpful to have that in
Okay.
the letter, so they see
Will do.
that straight away.
Sure.
Okay, and again, any contact
Any contact
phone
information?
number would be very helpful.
Yep, I'll include it.
Okay, and then this would also be something for October, same thing.
Sounds good.
And is there anybody from the public who'd like to speak on item 8? 69 AP 040, William Warnicos.
Madam Chair, we have no letters submitted and we have nobody in our attendees column.
Okay, and also item number 9, the 69 AP 040 for the Schuyler Trust.
Yes, we have no letters submitted for this item either, and we have nobody in our attendees column as well.
Okay, very good. Any other discussion from committee members about items number 8 or 9?
Yeah, I'm curious, Sergio, this seems to be the same document from 2025 that covers both 8 and 9. Could that be a typo or?
It could be a typo. They recorded
Same time.
at the same time.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll take a look. Could
exactly
be a
the same
typo.
document that would transfer
Yeah.
the same, the same ownership. You cannot transfer different ownership.
But remember, we were talking about just the Warner Cross parcels that changed ownership.
Maybe we don't need that.
Maybe we don't need that for this
Okay,
Scott Schuler trust one. I'll double check and I'll let you know, Madam Chair.
I guess that was one of the questions I was going to raise is that, I mean, while I guess we're confident that Angela is working with the Warner Cross family to get the replacement contract. If that were to fall through, I mean, I guess do we want to still notify both parties to this original contract?
And see, that was my thinking. This is why I wanted to put them on the agenda, like, so that we don't,
together.
yeah,
Track.
to track them together. Because they're essentially, they're the same contract.
Okay, so we're thinking letters for both. Yeah,
I think that would cover it.
yeah.
Basis. I mean, I'm confident that it sounds like they're going to move forward and they want to get a contract for the.
Okay.
Warner Bros.,
So 2 letters, I'll put them both shooting for October meeting. And if I could get the, recorded, correct recorded
Absolutely.
document for both, that would be helpful. Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. That leads us to item number 10. We were going to discuss alternative dates, locations for the October 9th, 2025 meeting, and then there's reports from committee members.
Oh, maybe, Madam Chair, I'll carry that since I brought the attention. So October 9th, our department is having a retreat, so I wouldn't be available. Not that the meeting couldn't occur, but the suggestion was maybe we look at an alternative date to move that meeting. And so I know that we've met previously at the Ag Commissioner's office, and I think at least initial conversations with Stephanie is that at least Friday, the October 10th could be a potential landing date to move the meeting and potentially at the Ag Commissioner's office. And so we wanted, whether that date works for everyone or there's another date, or we could just retain and continue the meeting on the originally scheduled October 9th.
And question for you, David, is there a possibility of your alternate coming to the?
Well, it's the department retreat, so everybody in the department is going
That's
to be
right.
out.
Okay.
And I think added context, Teresa Castro, your guys' clerk that's usually here, will be at that
Yes.
scheduled retreat.
I'm online, and I did want to make the comment that October 10th, I do have CBAR, so I would not be available. Unless it's after 12, like an afternoon appointment, like a 1 p.m.
I alternatively don't have a hearing scheduled that day on that Friday. I can be available if needed to
Hearing
clerk that day.
support.
I have to admit, I was under the impression that we were getting kicked out of this room permanently. I didn't know that it was just for this, it's just this month. Okay. Yeah, whatever works best.
You available on the Friday?
I can do Friday.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm hearing that surveyors available, planning, Royce?
I am unclear right now. anytime in October because the doctor is scheduling another procedure for my wife around that time period. I don't know the date yet.
Okay. Thank you for that. Let's see, I am double check. I am available the 10th as well. And the conference room is available. I already checked on that. Okay. And assessor as well is available. So we can go ahead and, oh, sorry, council. Okay, I see a yes. So we could do that. That's probably can accommodate up to 15 people at location. So.
And the same start time or?
Mhm. And then we would just want to make sure that we get the agenda to either myself or our AOP so she can post it outside the door there. Okay, very good. So we can go ahead and move that meeting to October 10th, Friday, same time, 9 o'clock at the 263 Camino del Remedio, which is the Agricultural Commissioner's Office.
Just a question, if she does have a procedure and I'm out of town, can I zoom in that building?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, we have a television and capability. Yes.
I'll make sure to include that in the agenda.
Yes.
And then just to clarify for the October 10th meeting, we will be using a different platform, which is GoToMeetings. Just so we are aware of that. We will not be using Zoom.
Yes, thank you, Teresa.
Okay.
And that, Teresa, that's because the other meeting of the conflict. Okay,
Yeah, because the other meeting and we had ongoing issues with GoToMeetings when we utilize it at CBAR because of the internet connection there.
Okay, very good. Any other questions about that? All right, that takes us to reports of committee members. Anything to report for committee members? Let the rest of us know.
Get started,
Okay.
but maybe
Let me just ask a question, and I think I know the answer, but these big fires going on, does that have any impact on any of the contracts on APAC or anything as far as being able to graze land anymore and those sorts of things?
I don't think so. I mean, I think of it as kind of along with the fallow periods or periods where they have a disaster. It's just part of farming, unfortunately. Yeah, there have been some impacts, and we do have a online ag damage report that we've worked with the USDA Farm Service Agency, County Office of Emergency Management. So we've gotten maybe 3 reports so far, but yeah. Thank you for that question.
maybe just and I don't know if OEM's gonna convey the message to the Ag Commissioner's office, but when I was over there last Friday, they were mentioning that I guess there is a current service, as far as we were talking about animal rescue and moving them to different location in the bees. Yeah. So I guess there is a group that is available to remove beehives from property that needs to be evacuated. And so it doesn't, maybe it hasn't been, the word is out there that service is available, but it sounds like it will try to get the messaging out.
Yeah, there's a business, a gentleman who's located in Lompoc as part of a larger effort to help get bees out of harm's way. The trick is to try and tie them into the Ag Pass program, which is to let certain irrigated landowners as well as cattlemen to get in just to not to, harvest, but to just get in water crops and do the most basic watering of cattle just to get them through the moment. And they are considered livestock, actually, part of the animals. So we've been working with some of those to get temporary Ag Pass holders so they can get through and take care of the bees, but this person's with a larger organization. And I actually called him on my way here this morning and was not able to get a hold of him, but yeah, it's a good thing to put on the radar, and we'll be reaching out to him. Thank you for that.
If there's any loss of structures or anything, property owners can always apply for a Section 170 disaster relief with the assessor, and the assessor can, what we do is we remove the assessment until it gets rebuilt again. If they rebuild exactly the same structure, meaning same size, same thing, then they just get to keep their old assessment, so they don't get a new, a reassessment of the property, which just restored the old base, the old assessment. And so, yeah, that's, I think all the information is on our website, so property owners can always refer to the assessor's office and apply for a Section 170 disaster relief if they lost any structures. Sometimes it will apply to, sometimes this can apply to living improvements as well. So orchards, like when we had the flood here in Carpinteria, people lost a lot of avocados. Because they're taxable, we can also remove those on a temporary basis until they come back to be taxable again.
Sergio, a question on, so the property owner has to proactively request that. I'm just thinking of, if there's not necessarily, not only ag structures, but maybe just residential structures that get burned or damaged in a fire. Obviously, we have a reporting of those, but it's not an automatic temporary relief. Do they have to proactively request that?
They don't have to submit an application if we know that something was lost. We would just, we would remove it from the assessment, but it's very difficult for the assessor to keep track of these items. So it's best that the owner notifies the assessor that.
And maybe, I guess I know on the planning side that building and safety is tracking those. So we're recording all of the damaged structures, and they have to go then and do a site visit, investigate whether or not they red tag it or whatever they would do. So we'll have a record of all the damaged structures.
Right. And
just whether or not we set up a protocol to share that with the assessor's office.
And I believe you guys did that last time with I don't remember what the name of the fire was.
Lake fire?
No, in Santa Maria, I forget what the name was. No, it wasn't a fire. It was a flood. Rain.
Oh, for the Santa Maria
damage.
Storm damage. And you guys provided all that information to Hannah, and we used.
Okay, good.
We used it. That had a lot of great information. So if you guys can provide something like that again, that would be perfect.
Okay.
Another thought too is I'm looking at the readysbc.org. So they have a lot of resources. They have, it's usually broken down into the emergency or preparation, emergency, and then recovery. So as the Gifford fire continues, we get more towards recovery. They'll start populating that with all the resources. Right now, they're putting some under their emergency section because we're still in that mode. But that's a great link to have, or provide that to the OEM folks, and they can, whether it's a form or whatever, and they can all be like a one-stop shop.
Right. I'm sure my department head would be fine with that. I think we've done it in the past. We've provided the link to the disaster form. I will mention it to Michael again, so that he's aware that.
Sergio, so you had mentioned that that Section 170 form or the relief would also apply to taxable ag commodities like orchards, and I was thinking about wine grapes, and even would that apply like to smoke damage if they claim like an ag impact from smoke damage?
Yeah, if they can show that they can't use the grapes and that they need time to recover, yeah, we can remove them from the tax roll. Absolutely. But we need to know that.
Right.
Yeah, we'll need to.
Yeah, that's good information to know. You have to share with them. Okay, any other reports or questions? Good discussion about fires. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have a report from the assessor, right?
Yeah, we have a report.
Yes.
And it is, I am providing the annual 2025 contract list. I think it's attached to the box, so you can get a preview. There it is. So that's the most recent. My question to you guys is, can you use it from here, or do you want me to send you an email with this document?
I'd like a link. That would
Okay.
be helpful because we link to that document from
Right.
we have a page on
Which-
our website, which is outdated. So that would be great.
Yeah. I was gonna.
I couldn't find it. I searched for it and I had trouble
Right.
finding it online. So yeah, if you provide a
I'll
link.
email it to the committee through Jonathan or Teresa.
And then you have it posted on your website somewhere?
We are actually discussing posting it on our website.
Yeah.
Not.
Oh,
we
it's not
don't
up.
currently post it to our website, but Michael is actually very interested in actually providing a link on our website.
Yeah,
as well.
that's what I was thinking. We could just link to your link, then that's,
Yeah.
but that would always keep it current, most likely.
Right. Yeah. So we can do that. We are actually discussing.
Right. And I already have downloaded it to our website, so on our uniform
So
rules
you already-
page. So we already have it posted.
Wow. Yeah. Another report. So in the month of July, nothing recorded affecting any Williamson Act contracts. I usually give you a report if there's any new contracts or non-renewals. And so that's it. I just had a comment, kind of like a question, just to finish. And it's about what do we do? What does the committee do when we get a question about material breach? Do we bring it as a discussion? Do we? I know that well, for us, for the assessor, we're like I said, we're not really looking into compliance of the contracts, but if there's ever a question about material breach, does the committee want to know? Do we bring it up as a discussion?
And with that, I think that's something that this county, as far as I'm aware, has never really taken a specific action. Again, if you're speaking to a situation where we have an owner that's in non-renewal and is not following even closely the uniform rules,
Right.
and there's a question as to whether what else can the county do. There is, as county council has brought to us before, I also mentioned in the uniform rules that there's contract law or, and maybe that includes the material breach, but that seems like something that would be best discussed between a department and council,
Yep.
the two councils. And I don't know if Tyler, you had any input on that, because if it just came to the committee, there's really nothing for us to really talk about yet. It just hasn't occurred in the,
I mean, the committee could determine if it was a, breach of the uniform rules that is within your purview. There's no, you can't do another non-renewal, but you could refer it back to our office. And we've had a report that this person is, in material breach. Are they? You can investigate it and then we can deal with the breach of contract action.
would it have to come to the committee, or could an individual member just refer that to council, or the chair refer that to council?
It's not really our discretion if they're in breach of the uniform rules or not. That's your committee's role, is to determine if they're in breach of the uniform rules. The only difference here between that and non-renewal is just that you don't have another recourse. So you're still making the same determination. Are they in compliance with the uniform rules, yes or no? Your flow chart then changes because you don't have non-renewal as an option.
Right. So what, let's say we did have that happen, comes to the committee, say a department comes and says, hey, we have this compliance issue and this person's in non-renewal, we still see it as an issue. What could the committee do? Just agree, you're saying support that department and say, yes, this is still not in compliance with these activities?
Treat it as if you had non-renewal as an option.
Uh-huh.
Recommendation would be, rather than non-renewal, we recommend refer this to council for, further legal action.
Potential court action.
I see.
Because you first need to, it's lovely that the department has said to you that they're in breach. You need to determine they're in breach. That's your job. You can't just have planning say, oh, we think this is a breach of the, uniform rules. It's not until you all determine it's a breach of the uniform rules.
And at that time, we would say in the motion, we refer this to council.
Rather than non-renewal, this
Mhm.
is non-compliant. We recommend this to council for potential legal action.
Hmm.
Go to the board and see what they want to do, but that's come to us.
I see.
Following that line of discussion and back to our previous discussion of sending notice to property owners, if we were to do that in conversations with the department that has raised the issue, it sounds like the chair would have the ability to send a notice to appear that we're going to agendize this for consideration of compliance with the uniform rules. Is that correct, that we wouldn't have to go through the process of putting on the agenda to do it? We could just the chair could send out a notice to appear based on the circumstances and what's going to be considered at a future agendized hearing?
Yeah, would that be because we'd have to notify the landowner at some point. Is that what you would recommend?
You should treat it just like you would treat a non-renewal. Just the last sentence of your recommendation would not be non-renewal, would be refer to council for litigation.
So, okay, so it would be, because we have the two letters, we have the 60-day notice, we have the notice to appear letter, and then we have a 60-day notice of non-renewal. So would it just be the notice to appear?
You could just do a notice to appear
Uh-huh,
to review your compliance as
right,
with it. And likely they won't, and that's fine, but
okay, I see. Okay, interesting, all right. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. That's all. I wanted to bring it to the committee
Mhm.
because I don't know. I think these are very rare and we don't.
Yes, they are, yeah. Okay, any other discussion on that?
Not on that item, but just maybe looping back to our approved minutes now that we considered today. And I think the committee had requested that we send a copy of those minutes to the representative from the Rancheria. I forget the gentleman.
Oh, yes. Larry
Lair.
Lair. Mhm.
Mr. Lair. So I don't know if we have his contact information, maybe.
Yes.
We can follow up on
Yeah,
it.
we can
I just
follow
didn't
up on
notice
that because we
thread.
did send them an original, and it's in all the documentation on the noticing.
Yeah,
They'll have
Teresa
his-
probably has his email. or
Yes,
something.
I have it. I'll make sure that he has a copy of the approved
Okay,
minutes.
Okay.
thank you,
great.
David. Good for looping back on that. Thank you. Okay, anything else?
Sorry, Royce, you got it. Mic on? Thank you.
Sorry. Today at the Ag Advisory Committee meeting, I'm just going to share that we have a link of a workshop that UC put together 3 or 4 years ago, basic fire up north, a huge fire they had, but it's got some topics in there. The tax assessment is one, working with the smoke damage and some other things. So this is purely for your information. If you want to go in, it's a 3.5-hour webinar. I'm not saying you need to watch it. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna put this out for people if they want to look at it. So if you start getting calls, anyone,
Mm-hmm.
because of things they say, just so you're aware of it.
And is there a way we can get this electronically, maybe through hearing support? And that way we could, when is this?
It's online, it's
Oh,
YouTube. You just,
yes, this is great. We could send this out maybe as a link to our, we have a large constant contact group of people. So, okay.
Royce, was this based on a specific fire incident or just in
the
general?
LNU fire up north 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
A very large fire up there. Um,
And when,
nine different speakers from UC, from Resource Conservation Districts, NRCS,
oh,
tax assessment, some other. They had good coverage. It was a good webinar.
when was this?
About 3-4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just online. Anytime anybody wants to click on that link, it's there.
Thank you. Okay. Anything else? For the good of the order. Okay, great. So we adjourn and it is 10:56.